Hi Mikel.
Hi.
Just how excited are you about the new season, considering what you did in the last campaign and, of course, the signings you made in the summer?
Super excited. I think it's a new challenge, new opportunity. Very fresh to start again, and very excited as well to play at home the first game, which it's been a while.
And have the expectations changed at the club, considering what you've been able to do on and off the pitch in the last 12 months?
Probably yes, but the reality of it is in football you have to be at your best on the day, and it's only about today and tomorrow, and play the way we want to play and increase the probability of winning that game, but earning the right to do that.
In terms of signings, has David Raya been signed in time to be part of tomorrow's matchday squad?
No, we have no news on any incomings.
Is his signing, if and when it is confirmed, a sign that you really want the highest possible competition for places in every single area of the pitch?
Well, that's what we've been trying to do, obviously increase the depth of the squad, but the quality as well, and the ability to be more flexible and the ability to have more quality and more interactions with players that can make us better, and that's the whole point of it.
Could that added competition for places create a challenge for you keeping everybody happy this season?
Well, I think you have to treat everybody with the sense that it's important, and you have to make them important. In order to that, at the end, they have to play football matches. In football, it's a collective sport, and only 11 players play, and there's another 11 players most of the time that they are not happy with the situation. Is how they deal with that, and how they accept their role, because it's going to change. Every 3 days, you're going to have a game, and that's going to change. And as well, it tells you a lot about the human being and the profession, not only when you are playing but when you're not, what actually is your contribution to that team, whether it is not to play at all or to play when it's needed to help the team to win the games. And then I want players that really have the feeling that they are happy when the team wins, regardless what, because this is a team sport, and that's what we have to build.
Do you think you'll try to bring in any more players before the end of the window?
At the moment, we are not planning to do anything, but the window obviously is very unpredictable. Things can happen, things that probably we don't wish. So at the moment, we are happy with what we've got.
And from a fitness perspective, are you able to welcome back Jorginho and Zinchenko for tomorrow's game?
Yeah, I think everybody's going to be available. Obviously, we have Mo still out, and we have Gabriel Jesus still with an injury, but the rest should be fine.
And finally, for me, on Gabriel Jesus, any closer to knowing even when he will be back and ready to compete for you again?
It's a bit early still. It's only less than 2 weeks since operation. He's doing really well, to be fair, and next week hopefully he can start on some activity, but it's something that we want to be cautious and make sure that he comes back in the right way.
For Charlie from the Premier League.
Welcome back. It's been 5 years since Arsenal started a campaign with a home game, which is kind of incredible. How much of a boost does that give the players playing that first game at home, or does it add pressure?
We love playing at the Emirates. We love playing in front of our people. We have created an incredible atmosphere, and the boys and everybody, I think, can't wait to be there tomorrow, ready for the kickoff and put the performance that they deserve and we want to do.
Forest, of course, beat you on the penultimate weekend of last season. I mean, how tough of a game are you expecting tomorrow?
Yes, and they did it in a really clever way, and they deserve on the day to get the points. And tomorrow we're going to have to play better and deserve more. It's a team that is extremely well organized, and what they've done last season, especially the way they started and how they adapted to the league and their qualities is remarkable. So they've done really well.
Going back to the title, obviously it's the first game of the season, but obviously people are expecting you to be involved in that title race again this season. It's been 20 years since Arsenal last won the Premier League title. What is the confidence in the camp after what you did last season and also winning the Community Shield that you can go again and challenge?
If we start on the first fixture to talk about the championship, we're going to burn our energy. We have to focus about doing what we have to do to earn the right to win matches, and that's it, and go game by game.
And just one more for me. Concentrates on really the centre-forward position. You've got some options now this season. Gabriel Jesus, of course, is out for the next couple of weeks, so we're not sure when he'll be back. What kind of factors are you taking into account as to who you play tomorrow and in the next couple of games?
A lot. First of all, how they train. I think the state that they are in, the feeling that I have with them, how they react as well to certain decisions as well. I think is really important, and then building relationship that regarding the opponent's qualities and the setup that can empower our qualities to help us to win the game. Thank you.
Bradley from Talksport.
Hi Mikel,
Hi.
hope you well. You spoke a lot last season about bringing energy to this Arsenal side. So what have you noticed in and around the training ground this week after winning the Community Shield last weekend against Manchester City?
That winning is the best energy booster that exists, you know. It was great, everybody was so happy. I think it raises the confidence and the trust level of everybody that we can do. But understanding as well that there are a lot of things that we must do better, that we can still play much better, and that the first game is going to be a completely different story, very different context, and that we're going to have to be really ready for that.
Last week was the first time you experienced the new rules, and Rafael Varane and Rodri have been very outspoken this week about the amount of games that players are having to play now and games being longer. What do you make about that, especially as you've got quite a young side and like Bukayo Saka played quite a fair amount of games last season?
No, I understand that we needed to tweak certain rules, and I think what the referees have done, or the association, to try to improve the quality of the games that we've seen, I think is a really positive thing. I think there are things that we have to get used to it. I mentioned it after the game, and we need to work on them and adapt.
It's been 20 years this season since the Arsenal Invincibles. Obviously you've got Edu here, David Seaman's now here involved in the youth team. How important is it to have those people who have had that winning experience back in and around the Arsenal team?
Well, with the incredible history that we have and that group of players have, and the experiences that they had together, you know, to put them at the service of the club, on those players and the staff to help us to become better, I think is something that we must do. I think we are trying to bring that back in the best possible way, and I think we made some important steps on that sense.
And lastly, can that be repeated, or what can you try and learn from the Invincibles and try and take into this Arsenal side?
I think they were the Invincibles, and they will be the only ones. The way they did it, it was in their own way, you know, and we have to write our own history. It will be different, but hopefully very beautiful as well.
Thanks, Matt.
Mark is here.
Hi.
I'm sure at the start of last season, most people outside the club would have been surprised. They wouldn't have been tipping Arsenal, I suppose, to go on the run we've had towards the title. Is there a different pressure going into the new season? Because everyone suddenly thinks you're going to be up there again this year. Is there a different pressure on you and the players?
I think it's excitement. You know, this is what we want to be, and building a team that has the belief and the quality to be fighting for those places. And the competition this year is going to be even harder than last year. You see a lot of teams, the movements that they make, and you have to expect something different of them. So we're going to have to be much better still than last year, and this is the way we are preparing to try to see for that.
A lot of teams, some of them your rivals, the Premier League starts tonight, they still don't know if they're going to have their best players available, they still don't know if they're going to get players through the door. You finished, I mean, Declan signed on the 15th of July, so getting your business done so early, does that give you an advantage, especially at the start of the season?
I don't know, we've done it and we had the intention to do it. Sometimes it's possible, sometimes it's not, but we try our best, and we just have to focus in what we can do, the reasons why we've done it, and try to maximize the resources that we have.
Does it make it easy though, having, because they've obviously played a few games for you, they've learned how you want to play?
I think it definitely helps, especially the player and the environment and getting set. Obviously for coaches is important. I think for media, for commercial, for the clubs as well, especially when you go on tour, to be set and have all the players that you're going to have during the season. So I think it was something very positive for us.
Mark from the Athletic.
Hi, Mikel.
Hi.
At the end of last season, you said there were certain players you maybe wanted to get more out of because maybe we didn't see the best of them. And I think this pre-season you've been a bit more experimental with your lineups than say last year. Is that a reason behind that, to kind of get them in the rhythm for the season?
Yeah, because they deserve opportunities, you know, and we have to put them in the right positions, and we have to put them next to the right players as well, that we can make fair judgments as well of those performances, and we're going to try to do that much more this season.
And with a lot of players who can maybe fill in similar positions but give different qualities, how, I guess, big is that for you in terms of changing games, the momentum of games during the game?
Having that ability is something as a coach that you really want, and you saw that the other day in the game. At the moment we changed the game, we changed our formation, and we brought some some quality players on the pitch with a different freshness and a lot of creativity. Other things that started to happen in the game, and at the end, Leo scored the goal, Fabio scored the winner, and those finishers are going to be really, really important.
Kai, Football London.
Hi, Mikel. You turned down a bid for Flo Balogun from Monaco. Is that because you want to keep him?
I cannot talk about internal things, guys. Sorry.
And obviously there is a massive number of players in the squad still at the minute. Just in terms of the sheer numbers point of view and planning training sessions and lots of players who potentially have their futures elsewhere, is that difficult for you now at this stage of the season when you're trying to focus on the start of the Premier League, but you also have to do day-to-day training?
They are our players, and we have to look at in the best possible way, you know, and they have to be treated in the best possible way. And it's true that sometimes in certain exercises too many players, but we have to adapt. It always happens in this window, and it's part of the plan to be flexible and be understanding of the situation.